I joined FOPSCo, the Filipino Online Professional Services Cooperative, is because I believe that this is a cooperative that all Filipino online professionals own, control, and manage.
So, the reason kaya po ako sumali sa FOPSCo, kailangan natin ng isang sistema at isang samahan na makakatulong sa bawat isa.
This cooperative is a group na pwede silang sumama para mas magabayan sila sa kanilang freelancing journey.
Ako sumali dihan sa FOPSCo kasi para makabulig ako sa ato kapwa mga freelancers, and ito talaga ang passion and my mission.
I joined FOPSCo kasi for me, lahat ng ginagawa ko sa FOPSCo is a privilege ko siya tinitignan eh. Kasi once in a lifetime in history na bigyan ka ng chance na mag-contribute.
Stepping stone na rin to para maabot yung goal ko.
The vision of the organization aligns with my personal vision, which is to develop and nurture an organization within Zamboanga City that provides much needed support for our online workers.
I joined FOPSCo because the people I've met have the same values, vision, and mission as mine, and that is to provide assistance to those who would like to jumpstart their career as a freelancer.
One of the reasons why I joined FOPSCo is because, so as a freelancer, I think it's important for us to have access to training, whether free or paid.
Wanted our individual reputations to have a collective reputation for excellence.
I wanted to be part of an organization that would be a pioneer group of individuals who will be working to promote online freelancing here in the Philippines.
The reason why I joined this organization is that I saw their mission and vision towards helping all Filipino freelancers.
I choose FOPSCo because we learn and grow as a community to help also others.
Feel more safe and secure knowing that my knowledge and skills will only come from the most renowned and experienced online freelancers and racketeras here in the Philippines.
I joined FOPSCo because I saw the potential growth is not just reaching one's goals and being successful, but there is camaraderie.
I am very inspired with their achievements and advocacy in promoting and helping Filipino freelancers.
Want to join FOPSCo because of two things. Number one, I want to help freelancers to get a job. And number two, I want to learn more from you.
I hope that here we will all grow together.
We grow together.
All right, so may I request to open your cameras here in our Zoom? Thank you. So again, hello and welcome to our webinar series tonight entitled 3D Logo Rendering in Cinema 4D. Okay, so again, we are live on our FOPSCo FB page. And of course, this webinar series is for our FOPSCo members, DICT graduates, and aspirant freelancers who want to upskill, explore, and acquire new skills when it comes to freelancing, or what we call the online professional industry. Of course, this wouldn't be possible without the collaboration of the FOPSCo Media and the Filipino Online Professional Service Cooperative. And with that, let me just remind you of our house rule. First, please put your phone on silence mode. Second, mute unnecessary noise that can interfere our webinar. And also, we are seeking for your active participation. Let me just remind you that our question and answer portion, or the Q&A, will follow after the presentation of our resource speaker for tonight. So I guess everything is set up now. Let me call on Sydney Vanessa Dato, our newest member of the FOPSCo Media and the Academy. Hello, Ms. Sydney.
Yes, good evening, Sir Dennis.
Good evening and welcome to FOPSCo Academy.
Yes.
Please take the presenter's mic to introduce our speaker. Go ahead.
Yes, good evening everyone. I'm Sydney and again, I'm here to introduce our amazing speaker for tonight. So, kung nanood kayo last week, alam ko na katulad ko na amazed din kayo sa ipinakitang skills ng ating amazing speaker. So, to formally introduce him, he graduated from a drafting technology education course at Marikina Polytechnic College in 2012, and in the same year, he worked as a graphic designer in a printing company. The following year, he applied as a CAD operator and 3D artist to a furniture design company where his art and software talent improved. He also created catalogs and brochures for the company, and so he started to be interested in taking up a second fine arts course in the year 2015. While doing personal study and working as a graphic designer, napakasipag niya, di ba? As a graphic designer, video editor, and 3D artist. And now, he decided to become a freelancer. So, let us welcome again Mr. Raky Samson. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Sir Raky.
Good evening, everyone. And I'm very thankful to be here once again to share skills and knowledge to those who are interested in this field. And thank you once again to Mr. Dennis and Ms. Sydney for my brief introduction, and to FOPSCo for having me here again, and to everyone who are participated in this session.
Welcome, Sir Raky. And the whole month of February is our Valentine's special webinar series kasi buong February kay Sir Raky po talaga yung kanyang niya sa atin handog for this month-long celebration of Valentine's special episodes. So please go ahead, Sir Raky, take the presenter's mic. We are very excited with your episode, with the lessons.
We're gonna make a lot of 3D for Valentine's.
Wow. Go ahead, sir.
Anyway, thank you sa sa pagpapakilala sa akin. So I will not introduce anymore myself. So I will go straight forward to my topic. I will start to share my screen. Share. Where are you?
Okay, so habang nag-share si Sir, we are live on our FB page, and you may type in or put in your questions sa chat box or sa comment section natin sa FB para ma-entertain namin later on whatever questions that you would like to ask when it comes to the lesson or ang ating topic for tonight. Go ahead.
Ang screen ko po ba ay nakikita ng buo?
Yes, we can
from
see.
From here to here?
Yes,
nakikita
full
po
screen.
Okay, thank you. And so our topic for today or for this time is 3D logo rendering. Sometimes may mga pagkakataon na bilang isang graphic designer or isang presenter or isang visual artist should come out with a picture or idea that hindi siya basta-basta ma-visualize ng ibang tao. I want to show you some of an example that we are trying to achieve. I have here a logo of Amazon. Sana nakikita nyo. Ang logo ng Amazon is in a form of 2D logo.
Sir Raky, sorry to interrupt you.
Yes.
What we are watching on your screen or on the presentation that you are sharing is yung 3D logo rendering.
Sorry. I think kailangan kong i-turn off
Stop sharing mo na po. Okay. Stop
Okay.
sharing. And then
How about this? How about this? Nakikita niyo po? The logo of Amazon?
Not yet, sir. Stop sharing po muna tayo. And then,
Okay.
sige, sir. And then, when you share screen, yung pinaka upper left, yung nakalagay screen, para lahat ng ginagawa mo sa screen makita namin.
Upper left.
Pag nag-share screen kayo, sir, share screen.
Share screen, then the
yung
upper
pinaka
left.
upper left, yes.
Okay.
Para.
So I think nakita na. Nakita niyo na po?
Yes. We can see it now. Amazon.
Okay. So I hope everybody can see this logo. This is just example. So as you can see here, the logo of Amazon is in a form of a two-dimensional view. It is a flat view. Ngayon, ang Amazon, since it is a company and it is a store, they have store. And they put their logo to their store in this way. Nakita natin. Nakikita niyo po? Is anybody can answer? Nakikita niyo itong nasa screen ko? So, yung logo ng Amazon, it was made up of, they turned into a signage. So, in order to turn this into signage, it should be came first from their logo, the two-dimensional logo. And meron silang ginamit na material dito. I think this is an acrylic material and nagkaroon siya ng ganitong signage, ganitong effect. It looks like a 3D view. But this is actually not a 3D picture. This is not a 3D render. This is an actual picture of their store. Ngayon, since hindi natin laging ginagawa yung isang object, then we took a picture on it, then to obtain something like this, sometimes kailangan natin siyang i-illustrate into a mock-up. Kasi mahal magpagawa ng ganitong logo or ganitong signage. So sometimes we will end up to create an illusion or to make a drawing, or especially 3D drawing, para ma-picture out ng client or ng somebody who needs it, yung kabuuhan or yung magiging result ng output. That's why the 3D render is very, very important sometimes, because it is reduce the expenses of the company. It reduces the effort. Now, I wanna give an introduction here before we proceed to the software. Now, our topic is 3D logo rendering in Cinema 4D. Since I have been already shared about Cinema 4D, once again, I will introduce more about this. This is a powerful tool or a powerful program for 3D modeling, 3D animation, 3D rendering, 3D or some visual effects. Now, we are digging into the topic of 3D rendering in Cinema 4D. Specifically, we are doing a logo. Now, in order to do that, we must have first the logo, the prepared logo in 2D, and especially it should be vector format. Vector format inside the Adobe file or Adobe Illustrator software. Then going to create that or to turn that into a three-dimensional object and put a material and make a render. So this is our goal for today. Let us try to achieve this kind of look, this kind of mock-up or this kind of picture. Now there are several steps to do or to be considered during our study here. First is to prepare the logo. It should be in a format and Illustrator inside the Illustrator file, and we will put thickness to the logo. We will give the thickness so it is not flat anymore. Meron na siyang three-dimensional shape, and we will put color. We will put texture to the logo. Second, we will going to put also the shadow. Kung makita nyo dito, mayroon na siyang shadow, so it gives more realistic effect. And finally, we will end up to this kind of image. There is a final render, there's a light, there's a gradient shading. Meron na siyang magandang result. There is a glossiness of the material. Now, the question will be, how can we start with this? Now, in order to do that, we must have an Illustrator file. Nakikita po ba ng buong screen yung file na to? From here to here?
Yes, sir, Maraki.
Okay.
We can see it.
Thank you. So I am now here in Adobe Illustrator software. Ngayon, mayroon akong logo pin-prepare. This is just a sample for the sake of this demonstration. This is a logo that I am trying to make 3D out of this. And whenever I have this, I should have the vector format of the logo. So siguro naman lahat ng graphic designer and other designer familiar about the vector format. Vector format, if you Google the definition of vector format, it gives you a lot of technical term. But basically what it means is the vector format has an infinite resolution, or it is a mathematical data in computer where it is scalable. So no matter how close you are to the object like this, it will not destroy into pixel because this is not made up of pixel. It should be a line or a path. If I go to the outline mode, so makita natin sa Illustrator, dapat ganito ang shape niya. Otherwise, it will not work to Cinema 4D. Now, kung may prepare natin yung ganitong file, the vector format in Adobe Illustrator, we will save the Adobe Illustrator. Then we will save that I have already here. I will just replace that. Then it will give me this dialog box. I can find the version of the Illustrator. Ngayon, I will reduce this version into the older one because the Cinema 4D cannot read the recent Illustrator version. I will reduce that into Illustrator 8. So things to consider. This is very important. It will not read the Cinema 4D, the later version. So only this version. And I will save that, and okay, saving this document, I will just press the OK. And I will open now the Cinema 4D application. So as we open, ito ang makikita natin by default. This is what we got. Now I will just import the file in Cinema 4D from here in the file menu, drop down menu, and I will go to open. and select the file, which is here, the Adobe Illustrator file. And I will select the open, and it will ask me about the scale and things like this. I will just press the OK. So that's easy. And now I have here, as you can see, I have already here the logo from Illustrator format. And if we take a look on the object manager, I can found that there's only one file and its name, a sample logo vector. It took the name from the Illustrator file. Ngayon, there is, if you hover over on this file, it gives you the name null object sample logo vector. So meaning this is a null object. If we are not familiar with null or things like, a null object is a kind of object that can contain something, but it is just only a container. Hindi siya a geometry or something. Meron siyang, sa tabi niya may nakalagay na plus inside the box. If you click that, left click, it reveals the other thing. It reveals the paths 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. Then these couple of paths here are our logo. It is the pieces of the logo that we imported from the Illustrator file. If you click here, you can find, I zoom a bit more. So makikita natin, this is an individual pieces of the logo. Now, I want the logo to be one file or one object here in our object manager. Kaya ang gagawin ko sa kanya, i-group ko siya or i-merge ko siya into one piece. Now, and the way to do that is to click somewhere here, left click, and I will make a rectangular selection by clicking and holding and slide the mouse. Makakapag-create ako ng rectangular selection, selecting these paths. So, nung na-highlight ko na siya lahat, I will just right-click on one of its name, and I can find several options, and one of which is the connect object plus delete. If I click that, makikita natin nag-merge siya into one object or one file. So whenever I click this, everything are selected. Now, since it was nested into a null object here, if I click here, it will hide and show. It will hide and show, meaning it was inside in this container. I don't actually need to be for my path to be inside the container all the time. Kailangan ko siyang mailabas. The way to do that is to click the path object and release the mouse outside. So, para siyang inilabas dun sa kanyang container. Then this container is no longer be important to this project. So I will delete that by selecting and press the delete keyboard. Now, if I zoom a bit further by clicking this navigation tool and sliding the mouse and holding this move to move around the scene, makikita ko siya na yung na-import na file from Illustrator, it was off on the origin. Makikita natin, if you can see a bit closer here, yung green, red, and blue, and this is the center where they intersect, is the origin of this viewport. And it was, the object was not on the center. So madali lang siya. I-move lang natin siya on the center by clicking the move tool and dragging this handle, click and hold and drag. So sinenter lang natin siya on the origin para mas madali siyang ma-manipulate later on. And now we are now in the in the process of putting the extrusion, the thickness that we are talking earlier. We have to put thickness to this logo, to this line. In order to do that, there is an option here, or the tool, or what do you call this, a modifier in Cinema 4D, where we can put extrusion on this path. If you hover here, click and hold on this icon, the subdivision surface, there is several modifier, one of which is the extrude modifier. If I select this extrude, select that, it will just add on the scene, and it can also be found here on the Object Manager tab or Object Manager area. Now, nothing will happen yet because in Cinema 4D, there is what it called the parent and child relationship. What does it mean is, since the extrusion does not influence on the object yet, because extrusion modifier do not know what to do unless gagawin natin siyang child, ang path, gagawin natin child ng extrude. The way to do that is just simple, by clicking, hold click and drag and drop on the modifier. Ngayon, this hierarchy can work on this particular modifier, on this couple of modifier here. It should be in this hierarchy, and this should be in this way. So this is called also the parent and child relationship. So the parent here is the extrude, and the child is the path, which is the logo. And then I can see now that there is an amount of extrusion already. So let us take a look on the extrude. Under the attribute manager, here we can find that there is an object tab, and there is a movement. Now, right now, by default, there is a value of some sort of value, but I think that this value is the one that gives the extrusion of this logo. And if I double check that, when I add more, if I click here the arrow and slide, drag, so I can increase or reduce the thickness. So I can now found what the extrusion, or what the direction of extrusion from here. So ito na siya. So makikita ko, ito na yung pinaka value of the extrusion for this logo. If sometimes ganito ang maging extrusion niya, which is wrong, so you should have to reset that into 0 and find somewhere here where the proper extrusion is the one you have to manipulate. And let us say that I want the extrusion to be like somewhere 80 centimeter. So sometimes it will depend upon your choice how much the extrusion will be good for the logo. And let's say I am happy with this result, and let us try to look again on our inspiration. Now, this is what we are trying to achieve. There is a logo with extrusion. We are already made this, and there is a background, the green background, and this background is a kind of wall. Kung makita natin dito sa Amazon, the logo was attached on the wall. So this wall must be a kind of geometry also. Now, let's go back to the software. Ngayon, wala siya ritong wall na masasandalan. Kung makikita natin. This is alone in this world. Ngayon, lagyan natin siya ng wall where it should be attached. Now, we need a piece of geometry like a cube. If I select the cube, and it should be here in the origin. So sometimes this will happen that the geometry we select from here intersect on the object. Ngayon, meron naman siyang way para yan ay maging okay later on. And under the cube and on its attribute, there is a parameter here, the x, y, and z, where I can make this cube to be wider or to be a kind of wall. So if I click value here, I click and slide the mouse, so pwede kong i-manipulate yung kanyang size. So gawin natin siyang para siyang wall ng object, and I will increase more of the width. So makita ko na malaki na yung cube. And it was intersect too much on our extruded path or our logo. In order to do that, we have to move this cube or this wall backward. So we can move that backward. Makikita natin ang wall nasa back part ng logo. We zoom a bit closer. Makikita natin, I hope nakikita nyo ng malinaw, and I will center that on the logo. So this will serve as the wall for the logo. So we cannot see it better because they have the same color of geometry. Now, and I will increase a little bit of width. And let's say na ito na yung gusto kong width ng wall. And I have already the logo. Now, let us going to add the texture or the color for the geometry, especially the logo. I will going to this area under this section where is the material manager will the material will be created, and I will click on the empty space and it will create the material. And I will double click on the word mat or the letter mat here, MAT, and I will change that into a proper name like logo. So this is the material for the logo. If I click, hold and drag and drop over the extruded path or the material will be applied. And now I have the default color gray and a little bit shine. But what I want to achieve is the material of this metal material, metal texture, some sort of. So in order to do that here in Cinema 4D, we have to manage the material for this logo. We have to double click to show up the material editor. And this is what I got. Now here there are color, diffusion, luminance, transparency. All the way down here is called channel. So they are all channel, color channel, diffusion channel, reflectance channel. Now, by default, the color and reflectance already checked or activated. Right now, I will change the color for my logo a little bit dark. And I will go to reflectance channel, and I can find the default specular. So the specularity, I can leave it here, the specular default, but I want to achieve the metal texture, the metal effect of the material. All I have to do is to add another color or the material that will give me the result of what I want. There is an add button here. If I click that, there are several options here, and all I have to select the Beckman. Now, as you can see, it will also update on the viewport, and I have here the Beckman color, which 100% reflective at this moment. But if we study the reflectance of this inspiration, there is a rough reflection. There's a rough reflection in it's not 100% reflective. Here, this is what we got. Now I will mind over this setting. There is a roughness setting here, the percent and the reflection strength. Now I have to increase the roughness. If I increase that into 35%, we can see there is a changes on the preview. And I will reduce the reflection strength because the stainless or chrome material or the metal material isn't that reflected. So I will reduce that into somewhere 35 also. So this is what I got. So time to time, you can adjust this value depending on what the scene you need. Maybe later, if we need to adjust this, we can freely adjust this to the amount that we are trying to achieve. And I have here now, if we orbit around, I have here now the logo with the material of a metal, something metal. Now, I want to put also material for the background. If I double click again here, I will create material and I will double click and select a color for the background. Something like this, green. And I will disable the reflectance because the background doesn't need the reflection or the glossiness. And I will click and hold apply on the background. Now, meron na tayong material para sa background. Now, this is what I noticed. When I zoom closer to the logo, I noticed that our geometry is very sharp. Very sharp. This is not good for 3D model. Yung mga sharp edges na to. As we can see on our sample, we have the smooth edges. So it will catch the lights and give the detail for the scene. Ngayon, sa extrusion natin, wala tayong smooth curve or smooth edge all the way to the logo. If we go back to the extrude here, we go back there. There is an option on the attribute manager, that cups tab, the same as the last topic that we have discussed about that 3D text animation. We also mind about the caps for the text. If I click this, it also asks me about the start and the end cap. Here, I will choose the fillet and increase the steps. So I don't have the bevel. I will be having fillet or the round. And about 4. And the radius, I will reduce that a little bit to something like that, to 2 centimeters in this case. And the same thing at the back, the back part, which is here, the back part here, although we cannot see, but sometimes it is important. So let us also do the same thing. Fill a cup and dagdagan natin ng steps into 4 steps and reduce into 2. So just clicking this arrow next to it will adjust the value. So I have now a good looking model of my logo. So this is important to consider when we are doing the 3D model of anything, na iniiwasan natin ang mga sharp edges, because sharp edge actually doesn't exist in the real world. We don't have very 100% sharp object. Kahit ang kutsilyo nga kahit ang kutsilyo, sabihin natin na napakatalas niyan. If you zoom closer under the microscope, there is a thickness on its sharp, on its blade. Now, the same thing we have to consider when we are doing 3D model of anything. Now, let's say this is what I want. And I will try to render. Here, I have a render preview. How does it look like? If I click that, this is what I got. Now, this is not what we are expecting. This is what we want, yung ganitong beauty. Right now, mayroong tinatawag na reflection niya. So, yung material kasi na ito, meron siyang na-applied na material na reflective. Right now, what he catch or what reflected to it is on its environment. If we zoom a little bit outward to the scene, and let's try to render again so we can understand. The environment is black, or there's nothing there. So the default is black color. So what we're gonna do is to put something on the background or in the environment to influence the reflection on our logo. And in order to do that, there is an option here, the sky. So para tayong gumagawa ng sariling mundo rito eh. When I click on this icon, the floor icon, I click that and hold, I can find the sky. And if I click or choose the sky object, I can find it here. And the sky have the default color of gray. If I render that, so there is no black anymore, but the gray color is not good as well. Kailangan natin lagyan ng texture ang sky in order to give the details, reflection detail to our logo. And in order to do that, I will go again here in the material editor and create a material for the sky. I will rename this as sky. And I will double click that. And by default, again, the color and the reflectance were checked. I will disable that, uncheck that, and I will check the luminance channel. Now, the luminance channel, as the word itself, lumen, it gives bright or glow, brightness, or something like that. And there is a field of texture. I will navigate. If I click this dot, it will navigate on my computer. Right now, looking for the texture. And I already have prepared a texture for the sky. And I have here what's so-called the HDR image. So basically what it means, HDRI stands for high dynamic range image, where most of the 3D artists are using this. But I cannot explain this a little bit more because we don't have so much time. But you can find the HDRI image in the HDRI. You can Google it in the website of HDRI Heaven. HDRI Heaven. There are lots of HDRI image where you can download for free. And I have already, so I will just use it. I will select one of them, HDRI image, and open it. And this will ask me a question about if I want to copy it, and I will say no. And it will load a little bit longer. And here, there you go. I have the material here, sky material with a text HDRI image. And I will just put that, click and hold, and drop on the sky. So makita natin, ang image ay nagkaroon ng ibang reflection. If I render that again, nagkaroon siya ng reflection from the environment or from the sky. And if I want to select another thing here, I can just double click and select in another color if I want to. So ganun lang ang time to time you have to edit, select the proper color for you, and let us try this one. And so I will render it again or preview. How would it look like? So right now, meron akong ganitong result. Since hindi pa rin tayo ma-achieve ng ganitong look, let us put some setting further here. Right now, meron na akong reflection from the back environment. I have the material. And one thing is missing here is there is a light, give it shine. So makikita natin meron siyang light dito na nakatapat and some illumination here. Now, in order to do that, there is a light object here. So this is the purpose of the light. If I click on this omni light or the light here, there are several lights that I can select. One of which is the area light. I think this one is beautiful for this kind of render. And if I select that, I can find it here, and it also automatically put on our scene. And it was on the center. I will just orbit to see the handle properly and move it on the front of the object. So makita natin, we can preview the output, but it's not yet the rendered output. And we can put somewhere here. So I am on the move tool, so I can be able to move that light. And let us try to render on the picture viewer. So time to time, lagi tayong magre-render until we achieve what we want. So something like this. This is our progress. And one thing I noticed is wala siyang shadow. If we take a look on our sample, there is a shadow where the wall and the object or intersect or close to each other. So here in Cinema 4D, we can also mimic that kind of result. There is a render setting here. If I click the render setting, there is an effect button here. If I click that effect, if I can click that, yes. And there is an option here, the ambient occlusion. It's a little bit new, but I will explain that as much as I can. So ambient occlusion is as this way. We can picture the result of ambient occlusion by this illustration. Yung mga shadow na yan, shadow in between object onto the other object, when they are close to each other, it creates the shadow or ambient shadow called. Now, since we applied already the effect or the ambient occlusion here in our render setting, let us close that in a moment and let us try to render again. And by clicking this render to picture viewer. So this is how the 3D rendering could work. Time to time, we have to manipulate or have to preview the render in order to see what is the progress of our rendering. Right now, as you can see, it gives the contact shadow of the object or the logo and the wall. If I go back to the first one, so which is better, this one or this one? So makita natin, this one is more realistic because there is a shadow shading on our render. Now, as I can see on my render preview, as I can see here, there's only one light here. What if I add another light somewhere here? Tingnan natin kung ano magiging result. If I click the light again, click and hold, and select the area light, and it was on the origin, I will move that away, and if I orbit, so I can see it was pretty much close to the object. So makita natin dito, para tayong nag-aaral din ng photography, na nagsiset up tayo ng light where is the light should be in order to take a good picture of the scene. So let us try to render again so we can see the before and after result. So as the setting grow, as the object scatter around on our object manager, the rendering time is dramatically changed as well. So sometimes may mga ganitong instances na kailangan natin siyang i-render time to time. So we can see there's a light here and there's a light here. We cannot see the light because it is not a geometry. It is just an effect of light. Just give the light effect. So we can see it is a little bit dark, and when we add another light from here, it gives the light here, right? So take a look. When we take a look on our sample, we are almost there, right? So this is how the 3D will work. And actually, this is an actual time of doing this stuff. Kaya itong maganda sa live demonstration, we can measure the time of our project, or we can measure the time or can estimate the time how long it would take. Sa akin medyo matagal-tagal because I am talking, I'm explaining something. But if you knew this process already, it would take no time for you. It could take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you can finish the rendering. And yeah, that's almost there. And all we have to do is to position our camera by this navigation tool. You can position, zoom a little bit, orbit a little bit, something like that. And so right now, I think we don't miss anything here. I have the reflection, the lights, yeah. And if I click once again this icon, the render to picture viewer, and it would take me about 26 seconds to render the whole scene. So may kita natin dito, ito na yung pinaka actual time niya sa pagre-render. Sometimes it would depend upon your machine. If you have a good computer, fast computer, then this would take a little bit less time. Now, ito na yung pinaka-final output ko, and this is my finished product, and luckily we finished this on time, and as I finish the rendering here in my picture viewer, I will go to File, Save As, and I have here the option Still Image, leave it like that, and the format, I will choose a JPEG this time, and OK, and I will save this as final. And I believe it was here. So ito na yung pinaka final result ng ating rendering, and our discussion will end up here. And hopefully, kapag meron tayong another session, or if we have another time to study about 3D, Cinema 4D, we will going to animate this logo. But right now, we are aiming about the rendering of the logo. So this is most of the process of the rendering, although this is for beginner only. If you want to have more study about this, we can do that also. But right now, most of the setting are important, and although they are basic, and yet we can achieve this kind of result. So I am done with this session, and thank you for listening, and yeah, have a nice day. Can I stop sharing, Dennis?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead. All right. So I guess we are on the end part of our session. So now is the time, or the best time, for us to ask those questions coming from our FB Live viewers, and also here inside Zoom. So, Sir Raky, ready for some questions?
Yes, please.
Okay, so a question from our FOPSCo media team from CJ. Anong mga applications na pwedeng gumawa ng vector to import sa Cinema 4D? Mukhang interesado si Sir CJ. So,
okay, as far as I know, there are other company like CorelDRAW. CorelDRAW is one of the standard also in the industry. So maraming gumagamit na ito. CorelDRAW can also do vector format, but the problem is CorelDRAW format or file cannot be import directly to the Cinema 4D. It cannot recognize only Adobe Illustrator format. But if you have CorelDRAW, you will import, you will export the file, the vector file into DWG format or the CAD format, and Cinema 4D can read as DWG. Perhaps it would work. Or other thing is, after importing the file from CorelDRAW, import that in Adobe Illustrator and save the Illustrator file into a lower version like Illustrator 8 and import that in Cinema 4D. Everything will work. It will be fine.
All right. Thank you for answering that question, Sir Raky. So I guess before we proceed to another question, let me just greet and say hello sa mga nanonood natin sa FB Live. So I would like to say hi to Miss Apple Hernandez and Clemeno. Apple Hernandez Clemeno kasi kakakasal niya pa lang. So she is from the Luzon Cluster 3. Hello. And also to Nico Maloles. Nico is also nakapag-guest na rin siya and nakapag-speak up dito sa atin sa FOPSCo Academy. He's into computer technical industry part. Also CJ, of course, Ralph Mitra, hello to Manuel Villanueva, Nico Mijares, mga OJT iba. Okay, so also to Jeffrey Salem, Abigail Vito, and Gerald Mark is also one of the OJTs of the FOPSCo Media and the Academy. And also Rosenda Samson, Marife Meherada, Books Luis, and LG Echage. So for those that are watching right now, you may type in or put in your answers. So ang daming nanonood. Maraming salamat. So another question, we have to ask this.
Sure.
Which particular, this is more on personal question, Sir Raky.
Okay, okay.
What particular logo resonate Raky Samson? Kung ikaw ay pagbibigyan ng pagkakataon, anong klaseng logo ka? Para naman ma-picture namin kung anong klaseng logo si Sir Raky.
Logo. Actually, I have a logo. I don't know how to answer that question. But I think more of like designing or a kind of, sometimes kasi inspiration from the modern technology, from the modern software. So I will also incorporate the trend of industry, the trend of the technology, modern technology, to be a part of my learning process. Kasi doon lang din naman pupunta ang lahat ng mga matututunan Doon dapat matutunan doon sa kung ano yung kailangan, ano yung magagamit, ano yung importante. So I think the contemporary thing or the contemporary arts would be actually the icon of myself. Something like that.
Sige sir. Okay, thank you for that. May nangungulit kasi. Okay, so pagbigyan mo na sir itong question na to. So
sure, go ahead.
For those that are actually inspired with the way how you are or how you create logos or how you create your contents when it comes to graphics, ano yung mapapayo mo sa kanila doon sa mga na-inspire na gumawa or sundan yung way of your work? Kasi ang galing mo napaka-advanced ng mga samples or projects that you have done. Anong mapapayo mo sa kanila?
Well, first of all, salamat sa appreciation. I really appreciate that comment. And ang gusto ko lang i-impart as an idea, as your idea to start for a graphic arts and 3D drawing, 3D arts, 3D animation is to enjoy what you are doing. Dapat magkaroon ka ng reason why you are doing this stuff. You should have a goal to achieve with or without any supervision or without anything na kailangan pang sa'yo, push. So you should have to put that in yourself na you should have to be always motivated, I think. Be motivated from the beginning to the process, the ongoing process. Be motivated until you come out with a good result of your what you're aiming for. Kasi ako nag-start lang ako sa Photoshop. The first software, I think it was AutoCAD because I am a CAD major. Nag-aral ako ng ibang software na makakatulong dun sa CAD, like SketchUp and other graphic software. Photoshop, I started the Photoshop very rough. Nobody taught me about this thing. I studied it by myself alone. I take the resources from the internet and as much as I can. I study that at home or in my work. I do the job that is not actually meant for me, but it can help myself to grow. So I think be motivated lang and be inspired.
Alright. So, Sir Raky, ano lang, disclaimer lang to and personal question from our Zoom participant. Ask niya lang daw po kung ano ang magandang application to create 3D text animation. Would it be the Adobe After Effects or the Cinema 4D?
Adobe After Effects is meant for video effects, video editing effects. It cannot be good for 3D. Although there is a 3D there. There is a 3D. You can manipulate 3D, some sort of 3D, but it is not meant for the good rendering. And napakabigat kasi ng software na na After Effects. Mabigat, masyado siyang mabagal. So, mas mahirap siya gamitin kung tutuusin at less pa yung creativity na magagawa. Whereas if you choose the Cinema 4D or other application like the Blender, Blender is a 3D software, also can work 3D drawing, 3D modeling, 3D animation, and so on. And it is free, but it is not standard in the industry. So that is why I picked the one that is the best for the industry as well. Kasi what we should have to learn is the one that is that will work in a long run. Something like that. That is my point of view.
All right. So, grabe, natututo talaga ako lalo. So, thank you, Sir Raky. So, coming from an expert view of opinion, so disclaimer lang, hindi masyadong kinukompare yung mga ganun, but then in his point of view and expert opinion. Yes, so before we proceed, because in as far as we wanted to extend this session, full pack and talagang detailed yung pagkakaturo ni Sir Raky. So I would like also to say thanks sa mga FB Live viewers that we are or they are still watching with us right now. So let me just share a particular some of the sample videos or sample works na nagawa ni Sir Raky. So
am I the one to
let me do
am I the one to
for
share?
you.
Baka kasi
Sir.
Sige. Okay lang.
Okay, so it's here and let me play this part. Kindly acknowledge if you can hear the sounds.
Matagal.
May sounds, sir? Sir, may sounds?
Meron po.
Let's enjoy. So, grabe sir, nakaka-amaze yung mga samples project that you have done. Sir, any parting words that you would like to share to our FB Live viewers, something to promote? Go ahead, take the presenter's mic, Sir Raky.
Yes, to those who are interested to the topic today, you can study that, you can review the lesson. Although hindi ito agad matututunan, I'm sure, sa mga beginner or to those who are really unfamiliar with the software. I want to suggest that if you are really interested, review the topic, review the process, review the video, and try it by your hand. Kasi yun lang yung way para magkaroon ng memory, magkaroon ng muscle memory ang tao. You should have to try it by your hand. And to those who are interested also to have animation logo, if you are not yet skilled, I am doing an animation logo. I am doing a commercial, 3D commercial of some product. I am doing graphic design and some other designing stuff, even the architectural drawing. I'm doing that stuff. Okay, that's it.
Sir,
you can
find
some
YouTube
of my
channel or promote.
I have a YouTube channel, but actually it's not yet prepared for commercial. But you can also found on my YouTube on here. I will give you the link. You can search some of my demo in Raky Samson. I think you can find me by my name. When you type Raky Samson, then you can see some of my work there in YouTube. I don't know how to share.
Yes, we are going
I don't know how to share my link on YouTube.
Sa FB.
But actually, ang YouTube channel ko, meron siyang content na mga tutorial din, but most of them are not for beginner. They're intended for expert already. Or if you want to study that, you can, if you want to.
Okay, so we are actually browsing your website, sir. So far, ang dami talagang sample outputs. Yes. So just go to RS Video Portfolio and RS Graphic Arts.weebly.com. This is your website. So thank you. Let me just stop my sharing. So again, thank you for attending to our webinar series tonight with Sir Raky Samson. So this is brought to you by the FOPSCo Academy. And if you found value in this particular webinar, kindly share, and please don't forget to like our FOPSCo YouTube channel and also FOPSCo FB page. And please don't forget to click the notification para ma-notify kayo for our upcoming webinar. So with that, I guess, Sir Raky, meron pa tayong 2 sessions because this is a Valentine special episodes by exclusively kay Sir Raky. So thank you very much that he actually gave us the chance to have those series of episodes for the month long of February. Okay, so if you found value in this show, share na rin sa mga kaibigan nyo, sa makakilala nyo, or those who are inspired when it comes to graphics or creatives, mas maganda. And again, please don't forget na i-like nyo yung aming mga, of course, mga pages when it comes to Facebook. And again, this is Dennis Baguio reminding you that here in FOPSCo, we grow together. Thank you very much.
We grow
and
together.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
I hope that here we will all grow together.
We grow together.